It's sketching time. Hello and welcome back. Yes, the arm has been colored in. Apparently I forgot to hit the record button or thought I did and it didn't, or I never know what I'm doing. Sometimes I hit the record button and it doesn't actually record, and I don't know, my phone's apparently just finicky. Anyway, base layer of colors down. This is what I did not get done last week, but I got it done this week. Am I 100% satisfied with the end results? No. But when am I ever? Yeah, we'll get there when we get there. And here's some gray hair. Makes him sound old, but he's not. Oh, I lost my train of thought. And then you see my fun Genshin stickers in the background. And I probably had them shown off a little bit last week, so yeah. But yeah, doing a base layer of marker and trying to leave some more open areas for highlights. I guess that technically wasn't all that necessary because I could have done something else to leave highlights in. But I have a tendency when I do things to forget about highlights. I did use a wax crayon on some parts of the area to try and repel color. Yeah, that was me trying to show that I'm using cotton candy for the ears, the light pinks. And, him being circus character, I thought it was hilarious. But my camera did not want to focus on that either. Darn camera not doing what I wanted to. But yeah, went with a darker purple for the shirt. Apparently his color scheme is pinks and purples and blacks. It started off as black and pink. And, his clothing ended up getting more purple in it. A little more recently. There was, I guess, some purple before. And a little bit of the accessories and his eyes. But I guess because his eyes are purple, I dripped purple down into some new outfits that I had made for him. I don't know, I'm just doing things, man. I never said I was gonna know what I was doing. Yeah. Going back and adding in a few shadows with Z markers, because I really, really wanted this to be a mixed medium piece, and apparently when I do one of those, I'll throw everything but the kitchen sink at it. Actually, I don't even feel like it was that bad this time. The last time I did a big mixed medium piece, I think I threw more stuff at that one. Yeah. I don't know, maybe I'll add something to the board or something now that I think back to that project, but yeah, my paper on the last project really curled up because I used some water on paper that probably wasn't ready, willing, or able to handle water. I mean, don't get me wrong, watercolor paper can still warp, but yeah, getting my hands full of marker. How? I don't know. It just happens. Squirrel brained again. Sorry. We all know that's just gonna happen. Yeah, I'm probably just going back and doing touch-ups at this point. Maybe I could have edited some of this out and made it a little shorter. Because, I mean, what am I even doing here? Yep, there. Oh, yeah, no, I totally forgot to color that part of the hair initially. And I think I made the hair maybe a little too long overall. It could be a little bit shorter for this character, but it's fine. I just kind of wanted it to flow without weird choppy ends. Because I feel like most of the time when I do stuff like that, all my ends just look choppy and forced and unnatural, if that makes sense. Alright, get back in the camera, you goof. And that's better. Yeah. And this one was tricky because I wanted to do a little bit of the circus makeup. And I actually did a digital piece of this as well. And there's not a lot of room with the bangs, how I made them fall, to do fun circus makeup. So that the cheeks weren't as dramatic as I had intended them to be, I guess. Plus, I never really know what to do for designs for the circus makeup. Yep, and there goes the colored pencils. This is part of the mixed medium thing. I did, I guess, like the base of the colored pencils in what I was doing with them on camera, and then I touched it up off camera just because I didn't want, like, hours of footage I didn't need. Hours is maybe dramatic in this case. Because normally, like, colored pencil can take a lot longer. The tip is smaller, you gotta constantly sharpen it. It can take several layers. I do have a Gamsol, which is an odorless mineral spirit, which seems to work well for essentially smoothing out lighter colors, but whenever I use it on a darker color, it just feels like it makes it really messy. And it's probably maybe in part in how I'm using it and not layering enough on top. I don't really know. Yeah. I mean, maybe someday I'll figure it out, but today was not that day. I did use a little bit of Gamsol, probably off camera. Yeah, no, off camera. On like some of the shadow areas, just because those ended up looking not great. Like, the colored pencil that I added on top made it look, I don't want to say textured, but not smooth anyway. And it just didn't look that good. And the Gamsol helped maybe a little bit, but not that much. I mean, it was probably still worth it to do, but yeah, the shadows did come out a little lacking in smoothness. Oh yeah, and this is where I try and start the background and struggle with it. And yep, those are my chalk pastels. I mostly use those for dolls, specifically blushing, like the reds of the cheeks and stuff. But I have recently used it to dye my minky fabric. I learned that word a few weeks ago. It's funny. Yeah, but then the problem with that was because you know how hair on dolls falls and you can see the both sides of like the bangs at least? Yeah, my doll is very yellow now in those areas, but I mean the hair's covering it, so I don't think it's going to be a huge problem. And I don't think it's going to wash off so easily. But I mean, it did work for dyeing the fabric without making it hard and crusty or funky feeling in general with paint. Because normally when I dye, like my felt fabric, I'll take some paint and I'll water it down, and then I'll stick my felt in the water, and then I'll let it dry, of course. Because the one time I didn't, I got green everywhere. But I was also trying to rush to get that project done. And I think I still have some white fabric with drops of green on it somewhere, because I'm a mess. I will emphasize that every time. Yeah, and eventually it did become easier to just say, screw the brush and use my fingers. It got quite messy, but such is my life. I'm an artist, this is what I do. The background is one of the things that I think could have been better. Like, I had more dramatic colors, or color variation, at least, envisioned. And I would say I probably achieved that more on the digital version, where coloring people is hard digitally, but then doing stuff like this is a little bit easier, because I just kind of, like, play with colors and, like, blop, 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 blop everywhere and make a mess, and somehow the mess can look kind of cool. I'm not a digital artist. Okay, when it comes to the world of digital, yeah, and there's my mess. That's how bad it was getting. But it was all good. Anyway, when it comes to the world of digital, yep, here's me struggling. For the third time, when it comes to the world of digital, I'm pretty Dutch, just clueless. one of my online friends I go on and occasionally like, hey, how do I do things? And she's been super nice and told me, and she's even made me a little tutorial for some of the stuff. And I was like, oh, that's how that's supposed to work. Still don't really know how to use like the magic wand, which is supposed, I don't know, some other tutorial I found said that you use that and do this and that, and that's how you keep the colors in the line and not bleed it onto your background. But I don't know, I could not figure that out. The main thing I know about any digital art stuff is add a layer. That's it. The rest is just guesswork. But there's a reason I wanted to do this one digitally as well, and hopefully I finished that this week. I got a long list of things that I want to finish. I want to try and get at least most of the work on my 3 dolls that I've got going done by Thursday, Friday-ish. That would be cool, so that I can at least get the majority of that work off my list and maybe clean up my sewing table a little bit. It's hard trying to keep things clean while I work on the projects. Okay, I'm trying. Oh yeah, and this is one of those rare times when I've used a super vibrant pencil. Normally, my colors are a little more saturated, like a little more toned down. Just because I don't know, like straight out of the bottle kind of colors. You know, those super bold colors. I feel like I have a hard time using them because I never know what I'm doing. Bought that on clearance because I thought maybe it would be interesting to try and use it in art pieces. Which I did, a little bit. I don't know if you can tell later because I maybe should have done this at the end or something, but I ended up using the other stuff that I've used on video with this character before at the end anyway, so I'm not even sure that stuff made a difference. But yeah, no, maybe someday I will take that out again. I don't wear makeup myself, but I've seen somewhere someone who did a portrait and they used makeup as their medium, and I thought that was super cool. And I mean, heck, if it works, it works. Like, who says you can't use whatever you want to make art? Like, I've stuck little diamonds on some of my paintings before. A while ago, those paintings are old, I'm not showing them. I don't wanna. And yeah, no, I stuck some paint on here because, like, the little diamonds that I had, like, I had one small enough, but, oh yeah, see, there's my pearly stuff. But yeah, I had one small enough, but I wanted white specifically. And then I added a little white in his piercings, because piercings are cool. I like them. They're fun. And yeah, me just trying to make some room without dropping everything off the end of my table because, spoiler alert, I did not clean my art table after the video last week. I mean, maybe with this project being done, I can clean that art table up this week or next. But with it getting warmer out, I'm spending a little more time outside when it's not raining. But I kind of have a vague idea for next week's video. And you'll see a little hint coming up here in a second. And all I'm going to say is if you know, you know. But I did a multicolor rain in the digital and a golden metallic on this one. But yeah, there's the hint. Again, if you know, you know. And you'll just have to wait and see what I do next week. So until then, bye-bye!